Android source engine. Alright, so Gemini, it looks like you forgot to attach the code. Please share the source code along with note debug explaining. I don't know what the fuck Gemini wants. It's because I hit the stupid Gemini button. Android is getting really cool and really stupid. I have some of the Android phones with RustDesk, so I don't have to do any of this like this. But then I got too lazy to use RustDesk on the phones too. It's just like a consistent human problem. Oh no, this does have RustDesk, but the service won't work. It has it's like deprecated the functions. Let's see. Like, I can try and enable it, but I know it's not going to work on this phone. It has a block, I believe. Maybe it doesn't. It'll allow me to push APK through the Wi-Fi debugging. This computer doesn't really have Android Studio. It has some sort of ABD, and I've tried to build an OpenGL image parser just to like control it. Be like, oh, that's where you click. Next TikTok, slide, click, slide. But I just kind of abandoned the project. I gotta find it in my Visual Studio. Today, I guess we'll do some NPC stuff, and we'll just do a little bit of other source stuff. Just other source stuff I'm doing. Like, the most notable one that I like, what's his name was doing, the Master 794, was the terrain thing. And so I got interested. And there's like these hyped videos, I call them YouTube hypes. Human YouTube hypes. It's not enough. Something's been going on with the memory. Oh, it's this. It's the extreme heat. And the fact that the world is burning to hell. But, oh yeah, wow. It's always nice when you see like articles like that. Just government propaganda of why we have to keep paying. Well, at least they got 2 new computer chairs today on Facebook Marketplace. Let's see. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Our dual context to terrain. The moment of human education or something. Yeah, so we're trying to morph terrain here. Now, you can see the obvious problem is that we don't have sharp edges, which we can. We can switch projects here. Let's go to a more interesting prototype where things went wrong. I think in prototype 5 things are wrong, but those are the more interesting ones when just shit starts collapsing mentally between the AI and me, and we're just like, oh, who cares? It's just death. Yeah, that. Like, I'm trying to make the edges sharp for the cube carve. Now I need to have a sphere add. So the red represents that it's sharp. So I started to colorize the shader in order to give me debug information. And then I added like 10 more debug colors. So I started expanding the utility. I was like, okay, this is going to have like infinite utility first, and then we're going to figure out how we're going to put this into an RTS game or source engine or whatever. So I would have multiple ways of why is hitting X crash? Oh no, it didn't crash. Okay, hitting Z puts it into a different pipeline drawing mode. It's a pipeline drawing mode. It's not a shader. Well, it kind of is because it's still rendering the color right. But if we go to prototype 4, before things went wrong, this is why I have multiple prototypes just side by side without GitHub like this, because you have to. And yeah, here's the version where it did have sharp edges. It's kind of like a simplistic way. And then yeah, once I start drawing soft edges, the regenerate mesh regenerates it with soft, which is kind of stupid. Then obviously this is like not chunked. I can generate a bigger chunk, it'll just lag more when the raycast hits it. Whatever. Yep, so if I made that collide, and the other problem is obviously replacing the physics engine in source will inevitably cause other errors. I don't know, like I was watching the videos of Null User, the guy that ported to Android source engine, and he, I believe, was trying to replace the physics system. I don't know which physics system. It just seemed like they were like sitting there and like hacking around, messing around with replacing it, and he had trouble with it being right or something. Okay, if I hit button 3, I know things go wrong. If I hit 12 or 13 or 11, yeah, 11 makes the color change. Like I was trying to fix it here. Okay, button 2. 9 or 10 will proxy replace the material. It's always good to do that. It's always good to do it that way instead of using set skin. Because like if you like change your model, then you want to change the material again. You want to do it dynamically, not using the MDL standard. So it's like, that's how we like doing things. Which one changed the skin? Oh, okay. That'll change it to the original or something? Yeah, this is original skin. This is his right skin, but it's not his original. It's his overridden. So yeah, let's try the weapon map. Weapon. Oh, the map is not a weapon. Whoops, getting confused here. All right, so did the cell phone charge? No, it's like at 1% down. So the mods on this are just like one weapon, and I forget what the rest is. I mean the main menu, and I believe the shaders, yeah. We're trying to fix the shader here. So, what did I want to add? I wanted to add some fucking shader. Yeah, I think I wanted to add, oh, Bink is here. It'd be cool to have Bink work. Alright, so if I have this problem, this is how I fix this. I install somehow DirectX from the older version. This is 2008. And mind you, when you install this, it'll break your Steam source code. It'll break shit that uses some sort of MSC shit or something. Oh no, DirectX. And you'll get this gnarly ass error, and then you have to redirect inside the source solution of the SLM of the Visual Studio solution file to where it's pointing to DirectX before it points to DirectX, because you have to override. Yeah, and then you get this gnarly problem. So FXC. So FXC is the DirectX compiler for shaders. And then, yeah. So this supports everything from 4, 5, 4, and 2, 2A, It has 2B, but it doesn't have 1. No, it says it has 1. But I believe, what was the problem? It doesn't have something that the other one does. Because if you boot up my other environment, yeah, see here how I have 1, 2, PS11, PS12, PS13, PS14. Here I don't have that. I have, what the hell is TX? I have to look that up, but whatever. Here I only have this VS11. Do I have PS11? It's really hard to read this shit. But after a while you get used to it, but whatever. Yeah, there's no like PS11, like why? Like, because the Microsoft made it so you can't runtime compile. And also, you get this error when you try to compile the older shaders that it can't like have more than 4 textures. Bullshit, but the older compiler was able to do it. So this is, and then when I go, where FXC? I have multiple compilers of FXC. I think I have 3, but there's 4. Yeah, you can see 3 right here. Just, well, this is technically the same because it's in the same kit. Yeah, but I think I have more DirectX kits. So what I do is I go to my SDD shader folder, my material system, sources dump folder to make shaders. And I made a file to compile that individual shader where the include file is missing. So I just can regenerate the include file by compiling the individual shader at the same time. I mean, individually. So yeah, so it's a pain in the crap to do this. And then I modified my VCD file to kind of hold together what I've been able to glue together. So I have this sprite card, right? My sprite card shader is screwed up. But PBR also is messed up. So I have to fix PBR, which is an additional shader. Like I want Skydome, I want PBR. I also want to make a shader for like Apex Legends weapons. Some other shader for some other crap. I mean, I don't want to say it like that. Some other shader for UI and some other shader for what I wanted to say before was a weapon multi-skinning or something. I don't know if I said that. Okay, so if I run this, it takes a second to compile one shader individually. And it'll still be, I think, a DLL of all the combination of, but I've already compiled the other ones, and then it compiled that one successfully, but it didn't successfully generate the include file correctly. So this should take another second. It's just got a bunch of combos. Yeah, so let's. So this works. Shit. Yeah, I have to fix that. But this weapon should be pretty easy to backport to source 2007. I don't even know what engine version they leak ported. Yeah, and it'd also be nice to be able to test on Hackintosh. This is what this is for. Let's see. Android, null user, GitHub, source engine. It says 2017, so that should be a 2013. The difference is, oh wow, the particles. I don't know if it's the newer particle system. ARM 64 fix and pointer size. What does this mean? So I'm guessing the particles will work because like my AK has like 5 particles. It's like I could just deprecate them. There's just these 64-bit if-defs. Yeah. This means that the way they casted it used to be cooler. Yeah, when porting forward and backward from 64 and 32-bit and porting forward from Visual Studio 2013 to 2022, you like don't like coding anymore. You just realize that source is like horrible, but then you realize it's kind of good because of how the content can just copy pasted. This is a nice page. You learn a lot on this page about the whole internal structure of Android. This probably won't have like the touch code they added, but it's in there somewhere. Alright. So let's see, did our shader compile? Okay, Linux is getting this version of the code. So we can try to compile this on Linux. We don't really need this file. So did it transfer? Oh god. I guess it did. I don't know why we put this here, but god, it's slow. Oh, we still have 7.8 gigs left. That's terrible. It's just transferring a bunch of binary blobs. Just leave me alone, damn it. Yeah, I need to just delete these folders. That's always gonna be fun. Cleaning up garbage. Or maybe just leave it there so somebody can disassemble it like in 100 years. Okay. And just waste disk space on a computer that is gonna run out of disk space. That's always good. Like I like when that happens. Like I don't care. I've gotten to the point where it's happened to me so many times that I don't care about that. Alright, so it compiled the shader. And this is how source development seems to go. It's just all over the place. And you're just doing these complicated, stupid things. You should be paying attention to one thing, but you can't. Yeah, so the sprite card compiled, which means we can compile the DLL that's allowed to send uniform variables to the shader. But we still have this problem. Like why? And the thing about and the thing about this shader, that's what I wanted to say. The thing about this shader, the version 2.0 model, is that it didn't compile last time because of 4 textures. So I want to read the source code. Like I didn't have time. I just got back from work. My feet were just like sore. It felt like turning into like Rick and Morty guy, where he goes back and one of the versions, Morty meets Rick. He's like married and he's actually a good person, going to AA. And if he needs to make the warp machine, he just starts turning into the other Rick. Just kind of like a paradox, which is why parallax mapping is like paradoxical. So let's see. The Epic C for Pixel Shader Model 2 of PBR. So PBR is just a fancy thing for like having multiple textures that just mix with each other after the light like does a dot product on them. And that's like, who cares about all the other crap that like, oh wow, there is this many texture coordinates. They're not really texture coordinates actually. It's just a placeholder. This is what I hate about source shaders. It's like you have to know how the template is laid out and how they're just packing everything into like one specification. And that's the wrong terminology right there. And the terminology just gets like whacked because it's not a specification. It's like the limit of what DirectX 9 can do. And the limit for like OpenGL, either 2.1 or 3 point whatever core, is going to be the same for like DirectX 9. And as it goes up, you can have frame buffers. In DirectX 9, you could have frame buffers, but they're highly frowned upon by the frames per second tweakers. But who cares about them? That's why we have to enable iShader for all the spies that play on Team Fortress 2. Because we hate them and we want their lives to be able to afford a 5090. I wanted to say 3090. It would be enough. Either way. And waste their parents' basement's power when they run servers for their stupid spy campaigns. And okay, so what I meant to say was, okay, so these are like your basic uniforms in OpenGL. I don't know if anybody knows what that means, but the stupid flashlight is just basically like a light. It's just like, oh, okay, a sunlight thing. It's actually supposed to be like a spotlight. Sorry. Like if we should open Hammer. I love Hammer. I have a dry hate for it too, but I never want to like admit it to myself, but I do every time I try to open it. Okay, so is this the pixel shader? Yeah, it is. Okay, so this is our primary pixel shader. So so we got like, this is diffuse texture coordinate. He puts it into corrected texture coordinate for some stupid ass reason. Then he samples. He just copies it. I don't even know why he copies it. He could have just put that in there. But the reason he copied it, he didn't even need this. He could have saved like 2 bytes or some shit. Well, to be correct, that's a half float. So that's 2 bytes times 2. Sorry. Well, it depends on how the SIMD packs it and all this other shit too, alignment. But we're not going to get into who cares that. So if emissive is defined and just samples another thing and mixes it, right? What does it do with this? Oh, later it uses specular pref and what is mix called in HLSL? Because mix can do branching. It's another way of doing branching. It's easy if it's in the branch. It's a 2-branch system. But if it's multiple branches, like if I wrote a shader the way I did for my other game, I'm gonna show it off just because like I have to. Because the branching is just like one Uber shader. There's none of this like multiple shader crap. It's just like if else. And in my other game, I ran into the problem where this value got too high and a half precision float, or I think a float 2 in HLSL, or a medium precision float in GLSL, OpenGLES 2.0, because that's how you're going to be able to support anything in angle. You can't go 3.0 or 300, whatever. So, this is called branching. It's branching. And you could also do a mix. And that's like a faster way of branching, according to the AI, but I don't believe it half the time. It told me branching is bad, this card is bad, this card is good. I've read this card is good in the books. Shader language programming. And it just gets into this like world of like, oh, it depends on the video card. It depends on what the computer is heat signature is. That's another like, who cares headache. So the final output will be a float mix. No, this is just vec4. That's what that is. How's it combining all this shit? I should just look at a easier example, like max, normalized. These functions are same. Lerp, saturate. I forget what saturate does, but it just like mixes shit. Blend between, yeah, it's like blending, mixing. What's the difference? Some sort of mathematical square root, maybe, multiplication, addition. Yeah, so like here's the specular being added to the diffuse. That's how they're being combined. Because what's the difference between mixing and combined? The mathematical operation, whether it's multiply or addition or something, depending on what you want it to look like. Because the shaders in real life are always like, and so is the physics, they're always kind of arbitrary, what feels better. 2 registers each, 6 registers total, 4th light and spread across W's. Oh, wow. That's a good optimization technique. Fucking like, you don't know, you're just kind of like, fuck. Well, this is why I wanted to read this shader for a minute. And then when we try to compile this shader, I believe it failed. Yeah, it had like major failures on this. So if I do get these, well, the ones in the folder were compiled good the first time around. Alright, let's just compile this. We would have to create, I think I did create a bat file. Open containing folder. I have to star that bat because I can't read this folder inside of Explorer. That's just dumb. Okay. So we have sprite card. So we need to design a different bat file. Let's look at the blah, blah, blah. Dynamic STD or old, new. I think new. No, I think it's old. I don't know. Whatever. It'll just tell us. All right. Yeah. So this will be our template for 2.0. So 3.0 and 2.0 are bad. So we need to compile both. We need something bigger. It's not this. This is the subroutine. Oh my god. I don't know how this gets translated into GLSL. All right, something like this, yeah. So this has to have force 30, just cause. And it's just like mental illness. So we're gonna call this build PBR, or we could have CrimeWars underscore PBR underscore save. So let's also save it like the sprite card first. So what I did is this. I love abusing search entire solution. It's the best. We're gonna put this in here because this is like how our project gets rebuilt every time. And then like later on you wake up and you're like searching for this and you're like, where the hell is it? It's like you don't know. Because like you're not gonna find this stupid file later. Build primer. And you have to like pre-do all these things. And later we're gonna need to add like 10 more shaders. I do have projects with more shaders that I made, like procedural bricks. I would like to make the procedural bricks parallax, so you wouldn't even have to have a 4K texture. It's just a shader, which is like saves you so much space. But everything in Source is about optimization. Like you do that one little thing, people just play your mod just to see that. It's so stupid. And then they'll just quit. Probably. Who knows? Alright, so we have this here, which means we're forced to rebuild the solution. Great. Because once you change that file, there's a detection mechanism, which is very good. That like Valve did it like this. Yeah. Just do that. While we're at it. Okay, now time to build this. We have to modify this file first, though. First, what you do is you do what I did in Sprite Card. So in Sprite Card, I made this text file. This is actually a text file, I believe, which is stupid because they removed the .text, and I did a stupid thing making the .bat and .text name the same thing. So this has this and VSXX, which means like whatever version. So we're gonna name this something. Now this file gets spammy with comments. That's good. This will be named PBR. And then we have to add the... No, we're going to need only one. We have to add the... No, I want it to look like this, because it makes sense for me like this way. Alright, so there'll be the... I don't know if there's a 20. This shit like makes it confusing, but whatever. That's why this is here. It's just like confusion, like replicating itself into the infinity. Okay, so we need to make this text file. So we make text file this.text. Then make another text file of PBR dx30 text. Then we put the FXC names in here and visually compile them and then get the include files. See if we could spawn the include files without having to rebuild the entire thing. And we individually build the shaders, so we build them out. So it failed last time, but something is flickering. That's crazy. It's not flickering like on my screen, but it is flickering on the stream. Yeah, so we're missing this, right? So we might only, we don't need the 3, no, we do need the 3.0 because this is, the parallax occlusion is missing and the use, this pre-def. But the light mapped, damn it. I hate it when it can't find the symbol. Visual Studio is just not smart enough. But it's good that it doesn't dig any deeper, because if it did, it's like, oh my god, you don't want to know. Like, it already digs deep enough. So we need the PBR shader names. I just copy pasted this. There's like some repo. And means E and E means and. Because it was like it was the one that did have the 2.0. I forget what it's called though. It's on, yeah, it's on GitHub. I mean, they search Google and find it. But the reason is that it was a little bit better. Well, we can compare these shaders to the ones on the Valve wiki, because Valve wiki explains how to do PBR too, and the AI will tell me not to use the 2.0 ones because it can't compile them. So we're gonna see. We're about to find out the monstrous masochist way, if we're allowed to do this. So we've triggered that. We have our 3.0 and 2.0 targeted by our script file. This I'm gonna write rem, put in the actual file names, so I could always copy paste the file name into the command prompt. Is like, I like setting this up to be lazy, so I can't make a mistake. It's like a two-way simple solution. Yeah, that's what the file name is, and I like to do that because when I send code off to the AI, the first line of code will be a comment out of the file name, so it knows like what the hell I'm talking about. It like remembers. All right, so this is the wrong prompt to do it in. But what if we did it here? This is where the FXC is old. And we might have to subdivide this one, because this one has the older crap. It has the 2.0 FX and the PSSW, but it doesn't have the PSB, right? So there's some other shader thing, and maybe some other prompt I have set up, environment, I mean. And, all right, so let's look at this again for a second, right before I hit compile. Kind of like, okay, we have FX 2.0. Do we have FX? No, it's not FX, it's PX we need. I mean, pixel shader is fragment shader in DirectX. We have pixel shader 2A. Okay, we have 2B, because we're compiling a 2B. And then obviously we have 3.0. And for vertex shader, I think we have both. VS2A, VS2. Where's VS2B? Uh-oh. Is it here? It's not here. We have VS2, VS2SW. What does SW mean? I need to figure that out. I need to read the documentation. Oh well. Let's just hit it. Too bad, so sad. Didn't have enough time. It'll just tell us error, like what's the worst it's going to do. Alright. Compiling 2.0 shader. Building model 2. First it's building the pixel shader. It should build the vertex shader first, but that's just my convention from OpenGL. Okay, built that really fast. Alright, now it's going to build the 3 shaders. It looks like it was successful, but I don't know. Errors, okay, warnings 15. What were the warnings? We don't know. I think we have to do a verbose method in order to see that. Okay, remaining. Okay, so the 3.0 shaders take like 10 times longer, but it's not that long. We should jump in and just do the multiplayer code, but I don't know. I'm just gonna do this and then just start eating potato chips. Dot implicit truncation of vector type. That's mostly what the warnings are. They're just like these cast warnings, I think. But what did I want to do with? Oh yeah, I wanted to fix the AK reload thing. So, well, this is cooking. How you fix the user-defined message reload effect? I think reload effect. The problem is, it's like you lose concentration on what you were doing in the first place. Taking on multiple tasks in the same code base. But whatever. We're always like fighting our own brain in order to like hack through all this. Okay, so in game DLL, the server is sending message. I've actually named this that it was a base SDK weapon thing. The problem is the client doesn't have a receiver function. I wanted to say receiver callback, but I don't think it really technically is a callback, but it like looks like one. It kind of is, but whatever. But it's more of like, what is this thing called? Flexors, filters, fibers, or something. I don't know. Pointer function delegates. Because like a pointer function is kind of like a callback, because that is a pointer function, but it's not always necessarily. It could be a dynamically generated function with dynamically generated code. But wants to talk about that. That's like hard. Why would you like have your own instruction set within your DLL and then like generate a DLL while you and then attach it and then run it? You're usually just going to get memory corruption anyway doing something like that, so why would you just bother? Just statically spaghetti code everything. It's easier. It's so much more logical. Alright, so looking at my like super spaghetti code base, we fixed the newer static code base. Okay, so begin user message function, we have to register this. So player animation effect is the one above and below it. So we're just going to search that. This is like a code merging thing too. So player animation event is a part of TF2 player, but it's a TF2 player thing. It's not a HONTP. Alright, so let's just search for registered damage. It's like a very like super common user message thing. So in HL2 messages we do have damage, and the formatting in this is even the voice mask bug. Floats are sent for chords, no variable bit fields in HUD, fixed size message. Oh, okay, so they fixed it in this code base. That's good. That's awesome. Alright, so the Jeopardy radar, I actually wanted to work on this. I feel hungry again though. I feel like so hungry I don't want to work on this, but I do. Because here, in my older code base, I tried to do everything. I took stuff out of the TF2 code, obviously, and then loadout, like when the player loadout gets updated from the server, because this is on shared, right? Or is this just the client? No, it's a shared file. Yeah. So they register these messages in between the server and the client within this function called register user messages. Oh, this is sort of a networking thing. It's kind of like a UDP packet World of Warcraft table. By World of Warcraft, I mean like it's generalized template generated thinger that makes the callbacks for both sides, the server and the client. Alright, so that complexity aside, what we need to do is just know where to put the reload effect correctly. And I believe 2 is the size. Yeah, 2 means the size. We could increase the size and send more crap, like send in another integer for the sound to play in a subindex reference of sounds. That's always like, or a hash map of just like increase the craziness. Like, okay, key hint text. We want to put it under key hint text just to keep the same order. The reason it'll still work if you don't have it in the right order, but the reason you do it is because when you code this later, you want to know how to find it fast just using the regular order. So we put it right there, right? Now, the SDK weapon base sends a reload effect when send reload effects is called. So that's how it gets called. How does it get received? Okay, so CSDK player will have this function called play reload effect. Play reload effect. No. So when he sends the play effect, he does a do player animation on the shared of the server, but on both the server and the client, he does do animation effect. But did I forget to implement it last time? Damn it. This is a really interesting one because it goes into the player doing stuff. And it touches upon MDL and player animation and netcode. Like network var here, just being in the middle of everything. Have this player play sounds from the view model's reload animation. Play reload effect. So this seems like wrong to associate with this. Let's just ask Gemini. It might know. It's just faster than me sitting there like searching my whole database of the brain, figuring out what this. But that used to be like the way to do it. All right, so. I need to tell it that it's the server. When does the client, this is a good way to reflect too. Now, when does the client receive and execute when this was sent? Okay. Packet dispatcher server side, end message, right shit. Reload effect, ID, corresponding hook method. Yeah, add message hook. Yeah, that's the shit. Okay, message add reload effect. Then when he receives it, the client will draw shit on the HUD, put shit into state, manage the state for this event. Register callback on client side. Die. I love this part. Alright, so. Okay. Make sure you're not a bot. I am a bot. What are you talking about? Damn it! That is not what Bing said. Bing had like all this cool stuff. What the fuck? Why is it erased from reality? Fucking piece of shit. I can go back in time. No! You son of a bitches, you fucking robot texted it. Oh, okay. It's because of this ampersand. Ampersand is very bad for web development. Do not put ampersand sign inside your Wikipedia. It's just, yeah. Because ampersand sign means fucking separator of variables. But it'll still work if the server knows what to do. Yes, so the message handler, after you hook the message, so what we have to do is just generate the hook. We could just manually code it and just not even ask the stupid AI to help us because it'll just fuck us up. It's just fucking retarded. And I'm trying to be politically nice, but I can't handle that crap. We, for now, must make it work, test it, make it work, try to fix it, make it work, test it, make it work, test it, go back 10 times, frustrated why it won't work, test it, and make it so the player starts like third person reloading whenever reload happens. So that's what has to happen here. Hook message. Like, what's the difference? Damn it. And then you go into little rabbit holes like this. Temporary entity. Okay, I don't want to do that. Alright, so we just need to have a handler. We need to hook the message, have a handler, and we just need an example of a hook. Because I don't believe we do have a hook for this. That's why I searched it in quotes. Like, it was supposed to give us what was in the client side too, but it didn't. Alright, so you go into your weapon AK-47, or whatever weapon swap you're conjuring. Dispensing, it depends. Dispensing just means you're just copy-pasting everything. You don't give a crap about little crazy code like this. Draw effects, draw first-person effects, draw third-person effects. I love this type of, like, because, like, you could actually do both. You can get away with one function doing both. And, yeah, shit like this makes it, like, horrible. Sometimes. Like, when you try to go back, you don't realize what to do. So you have to kind of think, like, not third-dimensionally, but, clean logically. Clean logically. I forget what the word is called. There's actually a word. And that's crazy that I forgot what the word is called. Okay. So I think we'll put this right after the implement act table. We'll put this shit I think we need inside the constructors or like some other place. Where the fuck does he usually put this? He puts it into the class itself, but he puts it into the init of the system here. But why is there only one? User register messages. Register all. Alright, so I don't think we need to do that by hand. They have to do it for achievements by hand for some other dumbass reason. Listen for game event, hook messages, achievement event. Message achievement function. So read short. What if we read in? We'll just take this as template 2, template number 2, whatever. will register the message in the constructor. No, we can't register it here. Ah, fuck. Because it has to be registered by a system, not a entity. Because if you registered by entity, you'll be fucked. Kind of like tempted to ask the AI, but okay. Let's just comment this shit out. Well, it'll look like this. I should have actually wrote it by starting out with the message header. Yeah, read byte. So yeah, it'll be like the animation event and weapon or something. I don't remember. It's okay that this is here. It doesn't do anything. What if we set a breakpoint? Okay. Message function. Yeah, like message function damage. Like you do this a lot inside the HUD. Message function damage is like your most common one. Well, message reload is the most interesting, simple one. The one that has the most functional, like, game mechanic visibility. Something. At least initially, for the 101 class of Source Engine C++. Message function text, syntax is like your text-based approach. Yeah, we need to see the C++ file, not this. So a lot of this I love it. Yeah, I remember doing these sync round timer ones. These ones sucked. Because you need like a string too in there. And the time. For some reason, sending the time is like stupid because it's like fake anyway. It's like this desynchronized a little bit anyway. It's not like accurate, but it doesn't matter because you're just sending it to a UI. Like it doesn't do anything like logical with it. But it could. Potentially could make an error like that. But it wouldn't really like change the authoritative state of the server. Because it can't. So let's like find the damage one. It would be in HUD health. The reason, and then there's HUD battery is like the same thing as HUD health, except yeah. So it just puts in a value. That's all it does. But HUD battery is only going to be like one class, meaning that it'll only run once, or instantiate once, theoretically. But there's like problems. I think there used to be problems with things multi-instantiating multiple times when the level would change. They fixed some of that. Okay, this was recycled actually. This is not, I don't know why this is message damage when this is XP. It should be message XP change because it's going to collide with the health. Yeah, I would need to recode this XP thing. So on INIT, let's go read the wiki again. I'm confused. User messages like game events have unique names used to identify themselves. Like the game event manager, user messages are controlled by the see user messages class, which registers and installs callback hooks. But unlike game events, user messages aren't automatically serialized or unserialized. It has to be done manually. Sending this user message also received to the client. Both client and server code must update whenever user messages changes. User messages are registered to function user messages. Each user message is reserved a unique name and tells us, yeah, this is where I messed up, I think, for something else. It's interesting to know what would happen if you like collided different names and send different shit. It's unexpected behavior probably, but who cares? It might still work anyway. And then, yeah, so we registered it, we sent it. Okay, if it's not possible to start a second user message block within already started user message, the payload user message is limited to 255 bytes. The size is exceeded. Yeah, this is for UDP reasons, I think. The size is exceeded as soon as user message block, the message is not sent, warning will be shown. On the client side, the shared function user message is called to register the same messages and sizes like on the server, but also every user message handler or callback hook has to be installed. It is not possible to install multiple handles for the same user message. The user message handle gets as BF read object class bit streams and must be defined as follows. Hook my message and receive shit. So it's like a global function. Alright, so we just need to get, so we're going to get like the player ID index. X is going to be the player ID, and I think that's what it says. Yeah, that's what it sent. And then, whichever C player class that is, we have to play the animation. So let's look at the player class and see where. So how do we hook this right? So it needs to be hooked into a singular type class. Damn it. We really need to erase this from here. It will, well, the reason we wanted it to put in Weapon AK because it's a specific Weapon AK feature, but it's actually a global weapon feature. Because later all the other weapons. Let's go look at HL2 MP player. And then we'll still need to figure out what system is going to initialize and code this. So inside of HL2MP, it's probably worth looking at the TF2 player, but we should look at HL2MP player first and then the TF player. It's just like crazy. And then figure out where they're stacking these. Because I don't understand how hook message, we don't see it on the TF2 base. Like, we should see this. A little more than that. Yeah, because it'll hook it, but on the client, it'll hook it. Does the achievement manager hooks its own messages or something? There's only one that manually hooks it and the rest is auto hook. Like, it's fucking annoying how they did that. Because, like, how are you supposed to have your own custom ones? Where's the example? Like, how do you... Alright. What we should do is build the client in the server. Because we did change the user messages file. Alright, server is done. Because I wanted to say on the client, your user messages function callback is missing. That's what it should generate the template and make it so I am forced to define that function. Because the hook message template was generated, but it wasn't. Damn it. Like, then what does it call? Just some pre-generated crap? Let me read the code again. User messages hook message. User messages find invalid index. Client hooks add to tail. Name hook. So the name is going to be reload effect. The hook is going to be that reload effect thinger. Alright, so I guess we put this into player. Let's put it into AK for a second. Let's try to put this into AK. The only difference is the player name. Because we don't have a play reload effect, right? We do need to add user messages H somewhere. Let's see, user messages H. Does that help? Yes, it registers the template. Now let's go find. This is the. Why didn't it find this function? I don't understand how it didn't find this. All right, so if it's not a. We shouldn't have been sent this message. Well, if we're in third person, we don't want to return like this. So he goes through all the like, this is very optimized code right here. We're just going to do this. Depending on the weapon data, he gets the model cache, see what the current weapon is. Like, what the fuck? Do animation event. It's easier to just call do animation event. It's more logical. I believe the do animation event is the one, but we're going to do it the more hacky, like raw way, and then we'll comment out the do animation event thing. Okay. We'll just reset sequence, act reload. I don't know if we have this on client side though. Do we have reset sequence? Why the fuck did it doesn't copy paste? Piece of crap. It does. Okay, good. We're in business. But really what it can be also, it could be this. Because this is what server does. Okay. So let's build this on the client now. Because we only changed the client here. No, we changed the server too. The server will break now. Because we forgot the client side only implementation. Yeah. This is why it will. And then after this goes away, so I have to place this function, I mean this DLL here, just to make it kind of, okay. Alright, let's just see what the next error, there should be an error still. Exactly, exactly. Okay. This doesn't exist, base, reload it. This is what I was waiting for, that this also will not work. And then we fdef this only for the client. That way we've implemented all of this in one file. Made it kind of modular. We still have to figure out how to do particle effects, but they'll just shit down the console. Alright, this was already compiled successfully. Okay, now the server should compile also. Let's just go to the shit. I mean, launch the game. I just need to copy DLL over. I don't know why I got so used to doing it like this. There's another way I also just found out I can do it. It's like I can just test straight out of the Steam content folder. It's always nice because you're like running the actual launcher and you know that at least it's the most closest as possible you can get to launch setup. So you don't have to like later like copy it over and somehow by some stupid reason something doesn't copy, you get screwed at the end. So I'm gonna go back to, go forward with that system now. Like literally just like maybe redo the script to always copy the DLLs right into the content Steam publishing folder. It's probably the best bet. Alright, let's just try to run this and just see if it works. Damn it, I need to fix whatever the fuck that is. Alright, reload works. It looks like he played the animation. Fuck. That's bad. I think what I did was bad. There was no sequence. It looks like he reloaded. Yeah, how come he does T-pose? Okay, so the problem was it was still showing the grenade thing and somehow playing the sound clicking of not having secondary ammo. I don't know why the fuck that was happening. Obviously this sequence didn't exist on the player. So it created all these like crazy ass errors. So the real code should be play the Half-Life 2 version of act, reload, rifle, act, reload, SMG. That'll be fine. Act, reload, Tommy. We could do some of these, but we don't have that animation on the player yet. Which we can add. Those animations are a part of the SDK, so they're free reign, technically. Because they used to be part of the 2007, and then they kind of removed that code. But it was still in circulation, like open freely. So it's like a part of the SDK. The DoD valve animations. Alright, so that should maybe fix that. We'll see. What we need to do is attempt to fix our world model here. I made a world model yesterday. And I used DMX to compile it. So I didn't do the animations correctly. Oh, this actually has the texture somehow. Yeah, the texture on this one is a little broken. So, obviously, we need the view model, not the world model. And so I animated the view model because the world model you don't really need to animate. You could make a reload animation for the world model. That would be cool. He pulls up the clip. So I fixed some of the things here. I know what the gun experts will say when they see this. I know. But we're not going to say it here. We're not even going to mention it of what they want to say. I wonder if they can tell already. Okay, whatever. So this is the view. This is actually the world model being cleaned up. I was cleaning up the view, so I did this twice. Yeah. Here you can see that this part was not on the other one, and there's still holes here. But since it's the view model, I was like, well, I think I did this on purpose before to do the Left 4 Dead optimization. Just kill everything on this side that the player will never see. See, you don't see it, so who cares? It's all like they care about is the FPS. Because when you look at statistics and you see that the edge count is 1800, the face count is 1100, and the vertex count is 741, and the triangle count is 1118, you should be happy. Since the weapon kind of looks good, and the polygons are not messing with your gameplay. That's all that matters. I don't know if I still have it open. I do. So obviously you start looking at stuff like this. Oh, low poly. 24K.5. Vertices 12. Well, this one not exactly a good comparison because it's got these ridges. It is a good model though. It's awesome. Because he did the bullet twice. He did 2 bullets. He did an extra clip. I don't know if he rigged it. It'd be interesting just to download this, but just to see how he did it. Because it's free. Or like this. This is really the list. And this one is 6K, 3.3K. Actually, this one is very good. And he's got the thing to where I think can you move this thing? I don't even know, but like according to this little thing, maybe you can. You got that. Because he's got like text on here. Оружие не убивает людей. Я это делаю. Weapons don't kill people. I do that. That's what that says. Okay. Yeah, he's got this thing. I tried to do this thing, but I just textured that like that. My loving Anka 47. That's nice how he did that. But 3K versus 1,000. So 3 times more weight. Let's just look at more. Cause like making fun of other people's stuff is just fun. I don't care. Especially this. This one is also good because it's also like 3K vertices. And it looks like, what the fuck? Something's on here, like he didn't do this thing as good, but he did other things better. Yeah. Oh, that's what that thing was. I also had this thing, but I deleted it. Well, I didn't delete it. I kind of set it aside. I was like, what the fuck is this for? It's for something. There's all these parts. Like, when you get into it, you just... Alright, so there's like another underbarrel thing. I don't think I have this underbarrel thing, but some don't. Like, they're a little different. There's one where the fucking guy didn't even have this thing, this top thing. He just put the spring right there and said, fuck it. Like, and that shit was cool, because, like, it looked like all you need is, like, a few parts off of the internet, and you can make one of these. You don't even need this top part. It'll work without it. And it's a fucking awesome way to do it. It's like fucking... Somebody fucking, like... ghost gunned and shit. And that's perfect for a video game. This little purple shit that shows up. It's like kind of like annoys my eyes, but at the same time it looks cool. Like if I wasn't subjected to all the purple grid I've seen in Source. Yeah, like that. Like this is, it's just like how the shader is doing that. Some of these other ones aren't really AKs, but they look like they are. Like this is some other version. Yeah, because you can tell the way it's set up is different. It's similar. This is one of the more similar ones. What's the poly count on this? It looks low. 10K. Fuck. That's terrible. Well, it'll fit in Source. But for a world model, no. World models have to be like around 1K at the most. But when it could be both and use the same texture, it's like, ah. It saves like headaches and stuff. Like it looks the same. That's the other perk. It looks the same. It's low poly. You could use the same texture and the same materials. Yeah, and that's the difference between an artist doing it and a modder. I wanted to say game developer or programmer or something like that, whatever. Doesn't matter. Somebody that's like obsessed with coding it too. Alright, we wanted to fix the view model. Like, we had like a really simple task here. Just copy paste some bullshit. Oh yeah, and then I want to build this for Linux. So that's always going to be like forever. That's going to be like our Android mod, just like one weapon. But that's how it starts. Like first you start with a weapon, then you add some more weapons, then you like mess with the player models, and you try to do a game mode, then you like give up and you go back to it years later. Stupid crap. Alright, so like we have like problems here. We're not in the right folder. Let's open DLLs with Notepad++. It's always good for our saving files to binary. Alright, so this weapon should be named I don't think it has my stupid work from yesterday loaded. No, it doesn't. It completely like reset everything, didn't it? Okay. That's cool. I don't care. So we obviously don't need eye rifle. The ammo type will keep same for now. But it shouldn't be. We should have to add the ammo. The sounds. The particle effects. We just added the reload fix. We haven't fixed it all the way. So it's ammo type. Yeah, ammo def. The materials. We haven't done that either. The font file thing. And then the kill feed. There is just a bunch of crap for it. And some other crap. Like attachments possibly, and oh yeah, the view model doesn't have hands. Yeah, it's perfect. It's like creating a whole game. It's like one weapon. So we have to open the file. And the file is like located in another file. So I don't have to like just really search the crap out of this. Just do it like this. And then it's probably the wrong file anyway. I think it's inside DMX. No, this is the older DMX. This is the... Well, it's newer than the one that it's using, I believe. Does it have... Yeah, it has a tag, so it has the NPC code. Yeah, and then there's also this sequence you have to add to the world model that allows the NPC to use it to attack as it listens for this event. And then the NPC knows that it fired. So it can fire, because without this event it won't fire. Ah, yeah. There is a way to override that. And yeah. Sometimes you have two folders for the same thing and multiple folders within those folders for the same thing. Not just really weird ways of making NPCs fight that a multiplayer programmer is not going to guess because it's an artist compilation thing. Maybe it was in that folder. Oh no, I'm so lost. Oh well. Yeah, this is how big this stupid little weapon gets. It's ridiculous. Oh well. So I had like other weapons I was working on that were like cooler and newer. Oh yeah, I think it's this. Alright, so we have DMX I had to test it at SMD. It's this one. It's the latest. So we have to copy this shit. Okay. We have to copy this into the swept file. Shit. Why do we have stupid ass hammer shit open? Alright, it's gonna be here, but we need the actual file. Like it's not in there yet. And this is how it looks. Is this it? No. This is not it. This is some other bullshit. Alright, yeah. Cool. And we need to fix the texture. But we need to fix the texture on the other mod, not just this mod. So I didn't have the right rig yet. Because I was testing if DMX would actually work and how far I can get it to work. And it worked. Everything worked like SMD in terms of workflow. And I figured out like how to be better at Blender for animating faster by keeping everything in one file, which was like the nicest thing ever. And then I just made these stupid wacky animations real quick and just kind of laid out the template. And then later I have to redo everything again, but who cares? At least like when you go to view model mode, it's like right there. It could be like adjusted a little better to look more like this. This is a little better. You can see that the model is actually different. A little bit, okay. So we don't care if it's going to be purple. We just want it, like, see it. That's step number one. So it's obviously compiling to one folder, then I have to transfer it to another folder. Yeah, this gets like ridiculous of how many jumps we have to make. Yeah, this CrimeWars folder has so much more crap. And I don't like to copy a lot of it, a lot of times, because I want to save disk space. It's like, if I was to install source mod on a cell phone with like 16 gigabytes free, I think the limit is less than 10 gigs. But it has to be cool. Because like it's easy if you just go to Gmod, copy all the assets, put it in your mod. It's like easy to do it that way. It's fast. It's not that like slow a workflow like once you're experienced, but you're not optimizing. I'm guessing the nav mesh wasn't working. They're not running around, they're just kind of camping their spawn points. Stupid. Oh, I need this. Damn it. Yes. Those sounds just like make the ears ring. That's the problem. Alright, let's see what happened to the shader. I kind of lost track right there. See if this works. Yeah, my ears are just ringing now from all that crap. Oh, so did some of them go away, or we're just missing one file? I don't see 3.0 complaining. But we do have PSB. PS20B, right? Now somehow this is here. VS20. So I know that we can take the 20s and we can just make them into Bs because it's like backwards compatible, obviously. Therefore, when it opens this, oh, come on, it's in there. What a piece of garbage. Visual Studio is stupid sometimes. Alright, let's just compile it. It'll read it off to the disk. What do you mean it can't read this? It's there. Smoke, crack. The fuck? What kind of crack are they on? Oh, I am gonna have to edit the file though. Oops. It's funny because it says it's not there, but it's there. But it's reading it. Yeah, how can it not open the file and at the same time say shit's inside of it? It's smoked out. Stupid ass Visual Studio. Yes. Now we could add the PBR shader into the AK-47. Alright, I'll continue this later.